is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
Hi guys, so I just wanted to speak on a subject that someone was asking me about. Okay, so to make a long story short, people are wondering why none of my cases have been heard in court. And I agree, I have the same questioning. I don't know specific to myself why, but I do know, look at how beautiful the water is. But I do know that there are major reasons in Chicago, and I use Chicago as a model because I'm from Chicago. I don't know what goes on in New York or Cali or whatever, but I would imagine it's similar. Understand the evolution of our government, right? We have state's attorney's office, and what does the state's attorney do?
Poor Xavier, look at him pushing that damn, I was going to say wagon, whatever the hell it is, that cart. Big ass cart.
They prosecute the bad guys, right? We have police. What do the police do? They arrest the bad guys, right? So what happens is, as we have large cases where there's federal involvement, meaning there is an investigation taking place over a course of years rather than a single arrest being made, there's a need for witnesses. So the state, the feds, whatever local department you're discussing, they have a need for witnesses. They incentivize witnesses with jobs. What kinds of jobs can be given by the government? Government jobs, correct?
Oh my God.
So what happens is, we're all human beings. We all have compassion. We all have, these psychological principles, whether we care to admit it or not, that we experience. If you were raised in an underserved neighborhood with shooting and killing, etc. and so forth, you are naturally going to have a desire for change in those neighborhoods and in society. It's going to be natural. If you don't, then you're heartless. Or you're numb. You've been so abused that you can't feel anymore, which either way it's sad. So let's say that someone from an underserved neighborhood or population gets a deal. The only jobs that the government have to give are government jobs. So what happens in the courthouse is that as time passes, as the government evolves, people are incentivized to testify and protected with government jobs. So you go from having an entire population of the courthouse as uninterested parties to people who actually know what the fuck it is to struggle, who know what it is to live with death, who know what it is to be afraid to walk to school in the morning. And when you discuss that population having jobs in the government, there's a barrier that's removed. And that barrier is the human, sense of compassion, a feeling of understanding. Something that an Ivy League college cannot pay for. If you are afraid to get out of bed in the morning and walk to school, there is no way to make someone understand that fear who has never experienced it before. Maybe with virtual reality, but even still.
Oh my gosh, can we
when
just
that
stop?
is your actual life, you're scared and you feel things and store things, traumas, samskaras, as is described.
I really honestly think she is talking to herself. So instead of her just talking out loud to herself and looking crazy, she's going live and pretending like she's talking to us, like she's helping us. Like she knows what we're going through, what we need. And she's literally just talking to herself. She's so crazy. The things that she wants to talk about. And it's so weird how she's busy. Walk. Y'all go walk wherever the fuck you're walking. You got Xavier in the background pushing the cart. I thought you always pushed it. Can y'all just you don't always have to be on your phone, Heather. I guess she was just walking and was just so bored.
In the untethered soul. And they affect you for the rest of your life. And they affect your decision making. And they affect...
Look, she leaving him behind. She out of breath and she leaving him behind.
The way that you see the world. Well, when we take out all of the Ivy Leaguers from the government jobs, and we fill up our courthouses with primarily people from the neighborhood who may have moved out, and I'm sure they are educated. I'm sure not everyone working there has gotten a deal. But even if you let one person with a deal in, they have a friend and they have a friend, and anytime there's a job opening, it's word of mouth. It's natural. Hey girl, they're hiring here. Get your ass over here and fill out an application, right? So now you have courthouses that are filled with people who have tremendous amounts of compassion for the underserved. Tremendous amounts. Loyalties. Gang ties even.
I feel like that's not where I thought this was gonna go. Like, this just, it's like a definitely roller coaster.
Some of them are nefarious and some of them are just genuine. But what ends up happening is control shifts. Paradigm shifts take place. And as I said, it's only natural that when you have connections to the community so deep, your loyalties will also, rest with the communities. Oh my God, cutie.
Gosh.
So what ends up happening at the end of the day is that the police, they can go out and make an arrest. But unless the state picks up the case and prosecutes the criminal, there's nothing that happens. The person is back out on the street the next day. Imagine the frustration of a police officer.
Heather wants to be prosecuted, I think. I think she wants to be prosecuted.
Who doesn't live in a gang-infested neighborhood, who doesn't have any of those problems. And I get it. If you're from an underserved community, you're like, fuck that. That's their job. I agree with you. But for 1 second, we don't want them to be closed-minded, right? So let's try to open our minds too, you guys. Put yourself in the shoes of the cops. You live your cushy little life with your wife and your kid.
You should do that, Heather. Wow, look at you. Let's record this, and you can remember this whenever you want to talk so much shit about them and how they're always after you. Give them credit. Open up your mind. Positivity.
And your fucking plush carpeting and your nice 2000 of the year car, even if it's not a luxury. And you go to work and you drive to this area and you risk your life and you make an arrest and the state's attorney's office doesn't pick up the case. Now, you might have a target on your back as the officer. You're definitely feeling salty that you go through that and risk your life without having any follow-up from the state's attorney's office. Now flip it around and look at the state's attorney. They are having their necks stood on. There is a huge conflict of interest with the amount of people with deep community ties who are in control of our justice. But without them, we have no emotion, we have no compassion, and we have no understanding. So that's what allows for oppression to continue. That's what allows for wrongful convictions to continue. That's what allows for a lot of these crimes to just continue happening. When you have a good equal balance of people who understand because they're from the community and people who comprehend because they have the education, then you can handle problems accordingly. But when you don't have that balance, the state's attorney's office can have all the proof they want. If they're receiving pressure from street gangs, pressure from violence at home, threats, death threats, threats against their family, let me ask you a question. Regardless of what your job title is, I'm a mom. If it was my job to prosecute a criminal and someone showed up at my home, at my doorstep and said, bitch, let this case go or I'm gonna come back here and kill you and your family, no problem, right? who disagrees? I dare any one of you to disagree because you'll be lying if you do. So the problem that I'm facing right now with my cases, the victimizations against me, is that all of this political stuff that can be clearly explained and understood if you have the time and patience to really, make an analysis of the evolution of our local government and the powers that be, is that there are more than just your clean cases being presented here. There are setups, There is corruption in the streets, and there are corruptions in the courthouses. Money is a big power player. And unfortunately, we have not found a way to separate the two yet. So, my only best guess with regards to why... What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you stopping?
Why are you stopping?
My only best guess with regards to why...
He's like, bitch, I'm fucking pushing a cart. You know, she always talk shit about how she pushing a 200+ pound cart. But whenever Xavier's pushing it, she's all walking up in front of him and leaving him behind. He's like, bitch, I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to take a break.
These cases have not been prosecuted yet, or at all, is because the state can't. If they could, they would.
Oh my goodness gracious, what do we have here? I don't know if I'm like happy for her, like, oh my gosh, like we're getting somewhere, like proud of her, or or if this is just another place to place the blame, I guess. Because now she's pretty much saying that it's not the cop's fault. Like, it's pretty much the state attorney. Like, she's pretty much saying that whoever they are, they're in her... I believe she is saying that she thinks that they are threatening the state's attorney's office and people, you know, like in the courtrooms. So that's why she can't get a court date. It's not because it didn't happen or she was in the wrong or nothing happened or there was no report or anything like that. It's not what the cops did. It's clearly now people are being threatened in the courtrooms, so they cannot pick up her case because it would be deadly for them.
Again, my biggest concern is that proof has already, been provided. Arrests were made when I was bludgeoned. Police showed up at the scene. They saw the person there covered in blood with the tire iron, and they made an arrest at the scene. They took me by ambulance to the hospital, but they didn't press charges. The state did not pick up the case. The police did their job. They made the arrest.
You should start being nicer to police officers than Heather. You're, like this fake shit you got going on. Okay, yeah, no, it's the state attorney's fault. Like, everything happened and the police did their job. It was just the state attorneys because, like, literally if the state attorneys give me a case, they're going to lose their life. So, she's pretty much getting to a point where she can't, so she could say that she can't prove it, if that makes sense.
But the state did not pick up the case. That's what made me first start wondering, is our local government shut down? The stabbing, I was like, well, maybe it was just a mistake. It's an underfunded county, Joliet-Will County, there's not a lot going on there. It's, a lot of farms kind of getting...
Uh-oh, what happened?
But if something like this went down in the city, for sure the state would have picked it up. That was my thought. I was jumped and stabbed by 3 women with screwdrivers. I was alone, unarmed. Blood splatter all over my car. Never had I ever been a victim of any sort of violent assault prior to this. This was the very first time I had...
What? Bring him up. Because you wanted to fight for your old man. You thought he was, You told them, or you just told her to meet you at the gas station. You should have told her, and now but it's one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Like, but obviously you messed with a dirty one, and she played fucking dirty.
Violently attacked. It was 2019, I believe May. But these women had checked into the prison systems for a visit, so their IDs were there. Their license plate was there. They attacked me on camera at a gas station. So all the proof was there. An arrest was not made at the scene because they fled, and they lived in Chicago. But they did turn over the case, from what I was told, to the state. And the state was supposed to press charges. They chose not to.
That damn state.
Even if I was in the faces of these women, a woman by herself, unarmed, can never be, charged with getting jumped and stabbed by 3 other women. It just doesn't happen. Sorry. Whoop. Sorry. So I still have a question about it. I can't receive victim services if there were no charges pressed, but my home has been taken. My trauma.
I wonder if she tries not to walk so close with Xavier so she doesn't have to like get the looks and be annoyed being the one with the big ass cart.
Has been at an all-time high since that happened. And, I have a lot of questions. So there are a lot of answers. Why hasn't the case been heard? There are numerous answers. Number 1, either the local government is shut down and the state has lost control. Number 2, the state is being pressured and their necks are being stood on. Or number 3, I really don't see any other options than that. Do you? If someone robs you or bludgeons you.
Oh my gosh, that laugh was going to be so obnoxious. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I cannot. Oh, these two, they're just a lovely mix we got here. Well, good job. You ran out of breath and you finally waited for them.
Or stabs you on camera in broad daylight with witnesses, wouldn't you be wondering why the state couldn't pick that up?
Motherfucker, he's always smoking. Hey, he always smoking.
But the police can only be as effective as our government is effective. So we have to come together and understand that the criminal justice system begins in the street with the police, but it doesn't end there. And if we can't protect government officials without completely ostracizing them from society, we have no system to begin with. And that's about it. I just wanted to jump on and say that. A lot of people have been asking me if that...
I'm gonna just say, I really hope that was not Xavier coughing like that. If so, he really needs to stop smoking. What a lovely life, Heather. Thank you for, letting us know all of this valuable information that we need to try to put to use. Would not have done any of it without you.
Really happened to you? Why hasn't the state picked up the case? Those are my predictions. They're only predictions because, as I've told you guys a million other times, no one calls me back. I think I probably have called them more times than they ghosted me. The state's attorney and the police have ghosted me. I have made so many calls to area detectives. I always tell the police who harass us, I'm the one who walks around with the Chicago Fire, tarp, talking about lawsuits all day. All your police officers know who I am. I'm not a criminal.
Oh my gosh, that's probably exactly what she said. I'm the girl who's Instagram famous. I was on Love After Lockup with number Y2173, Dylan Smith. I'm the one that you see all the time in the videos with the big sucker tent red cart. Have you not seen me? She's so crazy. She acts like she does not want people to see how she's doing, you know what I'm saying, and give some valuable opinions and advice, but she cares. You care, Heather.
No, I'm not a drug addict. Please lay off of me. That's what I tell them right away. Do I think it's okay for them to lay into criminals and drug addicts? None of my business. And I'm not trying to find out. I have enough on my plate advocating for myself. I'm all for humanity and being a decent human to everyone. But I also believe that we deserve safe communities and that our children deserve to grow up in safe communities, no matter what part of Chicago you're from. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Xavier and I are gonna grab tacos. We've been broke all day, starving. My baby's hungry. We hungry. So we're walking another 3 miles with my ankle weights on and grabbing some tacos for dinner. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And I'll talk to you soon.
Just this week, calls into Lombard PD, Elmhurst PD, Will County State's Attorney for Cook County, at 26th and Cali and the Daly Center, CPD Western and Belmont, and got police report numbers for each occurrence of violence against me over the last 4 years from each jurisdiction. 21 weeks pregnant and counting.
Okay, so somehow when we got to my
Why do I feel like she's really, really stretching and making herself sound like this?
youngest daughter's house, it was so hot that I was sweating.
Oh, it's so hot.
2 days ago, 80 degrees.
Oh,
Now last night, it was 40. Can't feel my toes all night. Freezing, in pain, up, crying.
Oh, crying? Are you crying because you're wondering why in the world you chose the path that you chose? Crying because you fucking wish that you spent money on a hotel room, on a bed, instead of freaking your weed and your drugs and cigarettes and fucking stupid nail polish and face mask? My head hurts really bad right now. Okay? And she's just really irritating me already. Like this, I specifically chose to start doing this video now. For this reason. I'm more honest that way, I think. A lot of times I try to sugarcoat stuff. Always stepping around people's fifis.
On the 311 waiting list for shelter for 2 years now. No assistance with any of the sexual assaults, no assistance with victim services, no explanation for the bludgeoning, the stabbing, being flooded out of my home, or chased and followed and harassed by all these strangers that are still, to this day, following me, sick as fuck, super congested. And like I said, I haven't been able to feel my extremities, my lower extremities, for about 24 hours.
Hi guys. Okay, so we're awake. We've been up all day, but we've had no Wi-Fi and no electricity at this location. I miss my kids. I don't know what to do. Same shit, different fucking day. Again, all of this is unlawful. All of this is unconstitutional. I am now 25 weeks pregnant with baby number 4, and I need to see a doctor, and I am being prevented from doing so. And they're using Xavier's eyes to...
What are you talking? They're using Xavier's eyes. You were just at the emergency room. Stop acting like I need to see a doctor. I need to see a doctor. You see the doctor more than I swear. You're not that far along to see the doctor every week or every 2 weeks.
create disgusting...
Actually, I take that back. I don't know how long you have to be every 2 weeks. But she goes way too often.
fucking content of horse and sell it. Thank you, AI. You guys, I'm getting so big and I'm still outside and I'm getting very, very scared. Like, I can keep the faith, but what the fuck? 6 months and counting, 25 weeks.
Wait, why did the other one look different? She's like, I'm still outside. I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm still outside. I'm scared. Well, yeah, Heather, what have you done to not be outside? Like, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. Do y'all remember? I still get whenever Leticia was live, and she was like talking and looking at the baby boy. He was so sweet. And then, like, in comes the officers with this, like, CPS, and then her eyes just, like, went crazy. And so I have a feeling, like, I'm really curious if Heather's going to go live whenever if she ever goes to the fucking hospital. Like, I feel like that, I don't even think that would make her better. That would probably just make her worse. But we're not going to let you keep your baby just to make you feel better. Has to be for him. October 27th, 23, noise pollution, emissions pollution, physical abuse, sexual assault, emotional abuse, stalking, harassment, rape, a bludgeoning, a stabbing, multiple assaults by both men and women, all reported to cops, the FBI, social workers, every friend and family member I have, and still I do the same basic things every day. learn, eat, take care of my children and family, calling them every opportunity I get, dropping off food at least once or twice a month. What more can you possibly ask from me? What more could you ask of her? 12 months in a tent. Congratulations, that's 1 year. Good job. 40 months since the court system failed me and threw me out of my own home at 2037 West Roscoe for no legal reason.
I've now been every fucking where in this bullshit ass city. Everywhere. Every place, every hospital, everywhere. The doctor asks me, are you feeling suicidal? I said, well, when I'm being held in a tent and raped, yeah, I'd love to kill myself or others, but I don't think that's a psych issue. I'm pretty sure that that's causal to being raped. And he goes, yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, well, we're going to discharge you. So for all you motherfuckers saying, oh, just go in there and act crazy, I don't need to act, motherfucker. I don't need to act. You're holding me on the side of the...
Who the heck is telling her to go in there to act crazy? You're right, Heather. You don't have to act. You are crazy. But not the good crazy that you need in a friend sometimes to have your fucking back. You the fucking weird, bad shit kind of crazy that nobody fucking wants around. We don't even want your help. You just that type of scary. To stay the fuck away.
Fucking road in a tent, 6 months pregnant. My back hurts, my front hurts, my top hurts, my bottom hurts, my every fucking thing hurts.
Hey,
I miss my children and I want to go home. I hope you all fucking die.
Stop threatening us. My gosh, you be threatening everybody. Alright. DuPage County. I have tried to go in person to rally with aldermen and government workers for the past several years regarding the situation. They have prevented me from doing so in person, but I have sent thousands of emails and videos just like this. There should be no questions as to whether or not intervention is required at this point. I think intervention is required for you.
Good morning, guys. We did not have time to get ready this morning. You can see I'm very upset from my previous post. The people who were around the building. Now, P.S., the sidewalk has not been washed where we were in a very long time, and I'm a huge fan of power washing, so I notice things like that. They start squirting a hose down onto our stuff.
Spreading cancer and disease.
Spreading cancer and disease. I'm sorry, like, that's not funny. Like, what he says is not funny, but it's like, it's funny. Like, because I can't take it seriously at all. Like, I just can't. He just cracks me up. But I cannot stand him either. And they're both just so bad for each other. They're like they're like the love story where it's like, y'all both go to, y'all remember, y'all know Tammy and Kayla from, My 1,000-Pound Sisters or whatever. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But they need to go in rehab to, like, fix themselves. To get sober and emotionally, mentally fix themselves. And then if y'all want to, get back together. But y'all are toxic as hell.
They're awful. Like, they're fucking awful. It doesn't matter where we go or what we do, they make us in their way. Like, it's like if I am not either being nice to them, arguing with them, or otherwise engaging with them, they're thirsty for my attention and will do something to make me react. How do you just sit there quietly when someone is spraying your stuff with water? That's assault. That is assault. But no one gives a fuck about that, do they? You know, and that's my problem. You want to hold me to a standard or anyone else to a standard, be prepared to hold the people around me to the same standard.
Champagne Papi. Can't be worried about who ain't around. Bet they sitting in the same part of town. Oh shit, is that a rap or am I just saying it like that? Ooh. Okay, stop, seriously. Telling them same stories about when I was around them, or same stories about when they were up and I was down, or the one where they got it all figured out and I'm the clown. It's who we choose to let surround that can bring us down. Shit, now I feel like I need a rap. Okay.
As ever. This is my 12th month outside in a tent. I'm 6 months pregnant. I 100% agree. You know, no one deserves to be called illegal or, you know, thrown outside or left without resources. I'm with you, but same. right? Same. I have no criminal record. I have a bachelor's degree. I have 3 children, and
Oh my
I'm pregnant
gosh,
with
it
the 4th.
does not matter what your background is or what color you are or how old you are, if you're a male or female, with or without kids, it does not matter. All that matters is that you are homeless and you need help. Point blank, period.
I need housing. I need resources. I want to know what I need to do to get them. If you
We
agree
told you.
that we should help people when we can, read that little link and let me know what you think. DM me and let me know how you think we can handle this situation, how you think that we can help house and feed and clothe 19,000 or more people who are in need. Because again, I do agree. I believe that human services, ethics, morals, and values should be important to law. They should matter when it comes to law. But at the same time, we need to worry about people like myself, So what we are doing for that group, we could very easily be doing for our own homeless population and population of people who are in need here. So if you guys agree or you have any suggestions, read that article, click on that link, and DM me your thoughts.
Next. I love this so much. Try to call the police. So since I have no service on my phone, I call 311 via 911, and I do so at least weekly or more, but have not gotten anywhere. They say there's no space. I just want my home and my family back, please. You can even keep my car. I'll walk. I miss my babies. What the? She calls them via 911.
Look at this. With this. How cute. Hi guys, so I just want to tell you, so just to clarify, this is what I mean when I talk about ways that they harass me. And there are so many, literally thousands. There's no way I could go into it here. I've tried to go live again, but they're blocking me. They will literally curate sounds, excessively loud sounds like ambulance, fire truck. They're not real. And they'll put them next to my ears so loud that I literally want to run away and am blinking back tears because it hurts my ears. And they do the same thing to my dad. Something even as simple as the vacuum cleaner will cause him to be in pain. I don't know how else to describe it. It's clearly sabotage,
Very clearly so. Fucking clearly. Clear.
I don't know why. Then you have things like this. Look, I just got ankle weights. Now, you guys know I've been pushing around a really heavy cart, right?
Yeah, and you've been bitching and complaining about it, and you're pregnant, so why would you get ankle weights on top of that, smartass?
Right, 300-pound cart. So I've been pushing this heavy cart for the first 5 months of my pregnancy. Last week, we just got rid of the cart and combined them into one cart. I have pushed this cart, no lie, more than 200 miles.
No lie, more than 200 miles.
A 300-pound cart over 5 months of pregnancy. No lie.
No lie.
We walked all the way to Franklin Park, walked from downtown at least once a month, every single month of my pregnancy, and I was balancing a bicycle on top of the cart, okay? And some of those months we took that walk twice, or even 3 times. We also walk all around the downtown area almost nonstop. So I've been very, very active this pregnancy. I should be so strong and so in shape. They're calling me fat. They're telling me I'm disgusting. They're making me look in my videos like I'm larger than I really. Okay, so you guys know I've been receiving an influx of messages since 2019. We're in 2023. Saying random things. I'm going to post another screenshot. If you go through my highlights and the FTR sections of this page, as well as the one Heather GEE account, there are literally thousands, if not hundreds, of these types of calls. They call me every name in the book. They tell me to kill myself. They say things about my family and children. And now they're coming from unknown numbers. So they were coming from all sorts of numbers with different area codes. They are now coming from unknown numbers. And I am not being permitted to block them. So I'm going to show you. The things that they're saying are literally pulled out of thin air. But they are awful. And they include a little bit of truth, like the real names of my children. Or, things like that. They talk about everything from my weight to killing myself to just terrible, terrible things. Now, there is no way to block.
Homesick for my children, homesick for my house, my bed, my room, my things, homesick for my life. God, please strengthen my faith. I feel weak. 10:29:23, 7:25 a.m. The side of the road somewhere, ignoring depression, and searching for the lesson. 25 weeks pregnant with baby number 4. Hashtag FTR. Fucking crazy that you are okay with settling with a life like that is so crazy to me. What the heck? Okay, this is weird. Places I've brushed my teeth that I never have before experiencing homelessness. Tent, beach, side of the road, Target, Walmart, Marinos Park, Navy Pier. Having faith is so hard. Heading into my 13 months, sleeping in a tent, 25 weeks pregnant, 3.8 years since living with my kids, who I have raised 80% alone before this, 17 months since the second unlawful eviction, but having faith is 1,000% necessary right now.
Okay, so I woke up.
Grateful for my children and my unborn baby. Grateful for my healthy body and mind. Grateful for love.
Super depressed. First thing is always I miss my children. I want to see my kids. And then I started analyzing the situation, and not much changes from day to day. So maximum effort, minimal ROI, which is frustrating. But then
Definitely not maximum effort at all. Very minimum. Whatever is less than minimum, Heather, is what you are doing.
I came across that be grateful, and that always helps me. I'd say 90% of the time when I'm reminded to count blessings. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for, a clean, dry, warm space to rest. I'm grateful for food. And that starts helping, a little, and to get through to the next step. So, what are you grateful for? You guys, look at the cutest little thing I found at Walgreens. Grease.
She said no Walgreens. Grease, what is it, like grease inspired makeup or something? Skincare. Get away from the skincare. Get away from the skincare.
A collaboration with Revolution. The only thing Revolution I've ever used are those deep conditioning face masks, and they work pretty well. This is adorable, though. Hold on, I have to show you. Hold on. Look at this. That is so cute. Is that not?
Okay, so she's watching a movie with, what is that? Ooh, that looks good. Is that Stan's Desserts and Coffees? I feel like they do be getting stuff from Stan's a lot. Good old Stan. What does Stan get in return? Is he just a nice old man? That's so sweet. Look at his sleeve. It has like the little pink ribbons on.
Good morning, you guys. So I just wanted to talk about really quickly the first two things I do every morning, without exception, from wherever I am. Text my 3 children, Viviana, Lewis, and Alexis. Good morning. Have a great day. I love you. Just send them to school with love. And
Send them to school with love. Is that? It sounds like the hair dryer's on.
then erase all of the up to 30 to 60 voicemails and text messages that I've received overnight from an unknown, unmarked number that should not have authority to come through on my Google Voice phone number, calling me anything from a whore to a drug addict to a pig, telling me to kill myself, among other things. I use that number for all the jobs I applied to. It's my only number. So I have no choice but to go through it and erase them. I try to literally blur my eyes so that I don't have to see that every day. It's illegal. I've reported it hundreds of times. The calls just keep coming through. Google has not responded. Then
I thank God for my children and for protection and support, even if it's only coming from Xavier. Oh, see, you there you go again. Xavier's doing good, and he's taking care of you, and then, what, tomorrow you're going to be accusing him again. Remember these things.
Start talking to my unborn baby. And I just notice huge differences every single day based on the amount of in-person harassment or how much fear I feel. When I say fear, I mean if you've ever been stalked in real life, followed in real life, and victimized physically, raped or stabbed or bludgeoned like I have, when people get close to you and start engaging in an altercation with you and you're just in a tent sitting there minding your own business with nowhere to go, you get terrified, or I get terrified. So I try to calm myself while also calming the baby. Xavier's here and he calms me down, just his presence when this is going on. But it's like, why should I need someone to sit next to me so that others can harass me and I don't feel scared? No one should be harassing me.